to arrive, and then we'll get started. I can see a few hands raised already, so hopefully I'll be able to answer everyone's question this morning. Please feel free to turn on your cameras. It's nice to see faces that I recognize names from. Okay. Just give it another minute and then we will get started. We still have a few people joining. Okay, so it's 3 minutes past 12, so I think we can get started and make the most of the time that we have here this afternoon. So everybody, very welcome this afternoon. Thank you for taking time out of your weekend. We had a few requests from you all saying that midweek or during the week when we were holding the sessions that it was difficult for you to join. So this is why we've put on today's session, and depending on how we get on today, we might actually do another session, weekend session before you arrive in September. So for those of you that are joining for the first time today, my name is Vicky Hannon. I work in the UL Global Office, and my role in the UL Global Office is to support you and guide you through the visa application process, and also to support you when you're actually with us at the University of Limerick through the immigration registration process, and depending on how long you're going to be with us, the renewal process, and if you're going to avail of the third level graduate scheme once you graduate from the University of Limerick. So I am just going to share my screen really quickly with you there. Just bear with me, slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so my contact details are up there on the screens if you don't have them already. So you can all contact me at ulglobal@ul.ie. Can you see that slide with my contact details? If you could just raise your hand to confirm. Brilliant. Thank you, Sadiq. So my contact details are there. You can reach me at any stage on the ulglobal@ul.ie email address, or if you wish to call me, you can contact me on +353 61 213 034. So as I said, today, for the interest of fairness and so that everybody has the opportunity to ask their question, if you can keep your mics mute, raise your hand if you have your question. When I call your name, you can unmute, turn on your camera and ask your question. Okay, without further ado, we'll get started. So the first name that I can see there on my screen, and please forgive me if I mispronounce your name, is it Hrida Thapa? Hrida. Hello, Hrida. Am I pronouncing your name correct? Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What's your question? How can I help?
So yeah, my question is regarding the visa support letter. I have already paid my fees, and they say that some website issue and you cannot issue the visa support letter right now.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
correct.
but I have my VFS appointment scheduled on 7th.
On the
So I
7th.
need it, yeah, on the
You
7th
need
of
it straight
July.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had an issue later this week with the Digitree, which is the portal that generates the visa support letter, okay? Our ITT team are actually working on to resolve that issue, okay? So if students have immigration appointments imminent in the next week, contact me, Rita. I'm going to take your name. What I'll do is I'll manually do the letter for you so that you have the visa support letter. Now, we're hoping that this is going to be resolved on Monday, which will
Okay.
mean that each and every one of you that have all requested a visa support letter and have not received it because of this technical issue will have your visa support letter by Monday afternoon at the latest, okay? But I've taken a note of your name. If it's not resolved on Monday, I will do a manual one for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Yeah, thank
Thank
you, Vicky.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. So the next hand raised there is Shampa. If you want to unmute and turn your camera on. It's SHOMPA. Okay, I'll come back to Shampa. Maybe Gishia, Gichia. Have you a question for me? Your hand is raised.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I do. Sorry, I can't turn my mic on. I don't think the network will allow it.
Okay, no problem.
I just have a question on excuse me, on the on any documents, or rather on the documents required at border control upon arrival.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
Perfect.
seen there's. I think the immigration service, the website lists a couple of documents, but they seem to be suggestive rather than sort of a concrete list. And I was wondering if you can maybe share some info on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I have just gone into the visa and immigration section there on our website. You should be able to see that on your screens.
Mhm.
So the documents, let me see. Just bear with me, let's see. Where's the question? Airport immigration control. Okay, so your UL offer email. Okay, so you would have received an offer email from our admissions team. And on that email, it gives you guidelines on how to convert your offer email into an offer letter. Okay, so it gives you details on how to convert it into PDF. You need to have that letter with you. In addition to that, you need to be able to provide airport immigration or border control with proof of where you're going to be staying. So if you're going to be staying on campus with us, you need to provide evidence of that. And you can provide proof of your accommodation on campus accommodation booking. Now, for those of you that are going to be living off campus, you need to provide your lease agreement. Okay, the lease agreement will need to have your name on it. And it will also need to have the address at which you're going to be residing. Proof of medical insurance is another document that you need. Now, for every student that is going to be with us for their first year, they can use travel insurance. So travel insurance will be accepted for the visa application, and travel insurance will also be accepted for immigration registration. If, however, you're going to be with us for a second, third, or fourth year, you will need to have medical insurance. So medical insurance, if you haven't already purchased it and you don't have travel insurance, you can purchase medical insurance. You can purchase medical insurance paying via TransferMate with a company called Arrakis. It's a study and protect medical insurance, and that medical insurance satisfies both the visa application criteria and also satisfies the immigration registration criteria. Okay. In addition to that, the airport immigration control will need to see that you have paid 50% of your tuition fees. So you can go onto the student portal and you can download a UL official tuition fee receipt. If you don't want to do that and you've paid via TransferMate, your TransferMate receipts will also work. Okay, so if you have all those documents, the immigration officer will stamp your passport with what we call is a landing stamp, okay? And that landing stamp states that you need to actually you need to register with immigration within the 90 days of that stamp. All right? Does that make sense?
It does. Thanks, Vicky. So if I could just clarify on the proof of enrollment, or rather for the offer letter, it's the actual offer email and not the student visa support letter that they require.
It's not the student visa support letter, it's the offer of study. So basically that would have come from our admissions office.
Right.
And it would have been the very first communication that you would have received from the University of Limerick stating that you have an offer to study with us.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to go back to Shampa there. Shampa, do you have a question for me? Your hand is raised. Okay, Shampa, we'll come back to you shortly. Ernest, you have your hand raised. How can I help? Hi, Ernest. How are you?
Good afternoon, Vicky. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So I'm looking at the email I got, the unconditional offer email.
Okay.
But I can't see where I can't see where I can get the document to show, like if the last question he asked, I can't remember it in what he asked. So I can see my, I don't know if I can share my screen just to, but I don't know where to get that letter you just talked of now, which is the UL offer email.
The offer email, yeah, it would have come from our admissions office, Ernest. So that letter would have been sent to you confirming that you've been offered a program at the University of Limerick. Now, if you don't have or you can't find that offer letter, you can contact our admissions office, and I'm going to put their email address there into the chat. Okay, you can contact them directly. And they will send you your offer email with details on how to actually convert that into a PDF.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that would have been the that would have been the very first communication that you would have received from the University of Limerick if our admissions office hadn't actually been looking for documentation from you. Okay.
Okay. So let me get the mail so I can contact them later.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll pop that into the chat.
Thank you.
Or I'll pop it into the Q&A. Just 1 second now. So just bear with me. So the email address is gps@ul.ie. Okay. Right. So is that all the questions that you have for me today, Ernest?
I'll ask more questions if I...
Perfect. Perfect. That's great. In that case, I'm going to go to Rena. Hi, Rena. What's your question today?
Hi, I've got several questions. I'm helping my with the visa application. So some of it might be that, but I'll ask it anyway. So first thing is in terms of the fee payment that's made, the 50% of the fees that is made now, do we have to explain the source of funds and what evidence do we need to provide to explain that?
Not for the, if we're talking about the visa application, no, you don't have to explain. But what you do have to explain, Rena, is where you access the 10,000 euros. So if there's any large amounts lodged to your account and the statements show these large lodgements, you need to explain, Rena, where these funds were sourced.
Okay, so let me explain the situation. So I'm going to make this 50% tuition fee towards my niece. And so does it mean I have to explain how I have made this 50% fee?
No, you don't have to explain the 50% tuition fee. What your niece will need to explain is to meet the criteria for a visa, you need to have immediate access to 10,000 euros. So your niece will need to show evidence of that in her bank account or in her sponsor's bank account. If the lodgement is lodged into her account, she'll need to explain where that money came from.
Okay, so if this 10,000 immediate access fund is shown as a form of educational loan, would that be sufficient? And she would have a letter of loan approval from the bank.
Well, if she's securing the funds through an education loan, then she needs to provide evidence of that.
Yes. So would that letter be sufficient to prove
Absolutely,
the 10,000?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So what she'll need to do is she'll need to provide evidence of the loan agreement.
Okay. Okay. And she doesn't have to have that loan money realized into her account to show that. If there is a letter from the bank stating that this loan has been approved and is available to her for her use at any time, that would be sufficient.
That will be sufficient. It will, yes, as long as the loan amount is covering the 10,000 euros that she needs to have immediate access to.
Okay. Right. In terms of the education bond, there is, I understand that's a new scheme. Has it started just this year or has it been running for?
No, the education bond has been around
Meng and
for a few
mechatronics.
years, and like if I would recommend students, if at all possible, to secure an education bond because the visa office and the immigration office will accept the education bonds. And they know that the money is there and secure, so you don't have to. It's very good. You know, students would normally receive a very positive visa decision if they have secured an education bond.
As against the loan, education loan.
Well, an education loan or an education bond, it's the same once the loan approval has been there.
Oh, right. Okay. So if we have an education loan that covers this 10,000 and also the cost of living costs, etc., do we still need to produce the money in terms of the education bond, or one of the other will be sufficient?
One or the other will be sufficient, Rena. One or the other will be sufficient, as long as the amount of either covers the requirement and meets the criteria. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, one more thing. There is a financial summary form that needs completing, and there on page 2 it says source of fund. If so, the fee payment has been made. So I'm going back to my initial question. So
if you're going to be paying your niece's tuition fee, she needs to confirm that on the financial summary.
Okay, so just state the name and what the relationship is in that box.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to provide the account number or the sort code and all that stuff there.
No, you don't need to provide that, but you do need to provide evidence that you have those funds.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. I've got a few other questions in terms of other documents. I can ask now or come back later.
Rena, might get back to you a little bit later. I'm just conscious that
Thanks.
we have a lot of students on the call and I want to get to everybody. So I'll come back to you shortly once I've gone through a few more questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Rena. Mariana, what's your question? How can I help?
Hi, how are you doing? So I am already here in Limerick. I already have a stamp to my renewal date should be around the 10th of September. But I've been
Perfect.
told by the English school that I do need to take time into consideration at least 4 weeks ahead. But we're not gonna have the enrollment letter
Enrollment
by
letter.
then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marina, in that case, then what you need to do is as soon as you are officially enrolled and completed the enrollment task, which is normally sent to students mid-August from our
Mhm.
admissions team, once you've completed that task, you will have access to the letter that you require for your renewal, which is your
Okay.
confirmation of registration and attendance. Okay. So
Right.
once you have access to that letter, then you can go through the renewal process.
Is there any way to speed it up then by any chance?
Absolutely
Just
not.
because of the appointments?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not, Marina. Unfortunately, the enrollment task is distributed by our admissions team in mid-August, and it's always
Okay.
been the case. So unfortunately, you cannot do anything between now and then.
Okay, another question about that. I'm being told by different sources that I either do need the final exam for my C2 that I took with the school, and some people are telling me that it's absolutely not necessary and that I shouldn't even present it. So which one should I go by?
Marina, because you're a renewal and not a first-time registration, you can upload all your documents. So you won't be going to Burgh Key in Dublin to present. You'll be doing your renewal process online. So my advice to you would be to upload confirmation that you've passed your English language course.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Even though they're telling me that it's not like a
I
requirement anymore. Okay.
I would, for the purposes of your renewal, upload that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Marina. Inika, am I pronouncing your name correct? Inaki?
Hi. Well, no, if Iñaki is
Iñaki.
if okay, if in Spanish. So, well, technically, if not Spanish, but cousin language. But anyway, I speak
Iñaki.
Spanish, so no, not really. Feel so old. Sorry, everyone, for my accent. Not native speaker. Not much practice to do in English here in Chile. So we going to the point. I am having trouble because recently my mail told me to, how do you say, I have it right here, excuse me. Now, to imprint the receipt of my, of, that I have paid 50% of the tuition. The issue I'm having is, I can't log in. I try to use my ID student, my email and password, and I can log into the website of the university. So
Okay, so obviously what you need to do then is contact our GPS office, okay, our admissions office. I popped their email address there into the chat, so it's gps@ul.ie. So
I
when
can I can see I can't see them in the chat. Where could you please show me a screenshot so I can
what I
later
can
copy
do
that?
is just a second now.
Sorry for the issue.
No problem at all. So what I'll do is if you just bear with me 1 second, I will go in. I'm just going to show you if we go down here, share my screen, slideshow. Just bear with me a second. Okay, so can you see the slide on the screen there?
Yes.
GPS@ul.ie, that's our admissions team. Okay, so if you send a quick email to them and explain that you can't access your portal, they will have a look at your record, and if required, they'll reset your password so you can access it. Okay, now in terms of your tuition fee receipt, how did you pay that?
TransferMate.
That's your receipt also. So the visa office will accept your TransferMate receipt as proof of 50% payment. Okay, but ideally I do like to advise students to have their TransferMate receipt and also the UL official receipt. Okay, so pop our GPS team an email and they will look at that for you. And if it's not resolved, get back to me at ulglobal@ul.ie. Okay?
Okay, sounds perfect. I got another question if I could ask a quick one.
Yes,
It's
sure.
mostly because I haven't been here to this webinars because my email took it as spam, so
Yeah.
So please excuse me if it's kind of dumb, but
No problem.
the proof of having 10,000 euros.
Yes.
I can do it in an account and I'm sorry, and I can do it in an account on Chilean pesos or the equivalent of 10,000 euros, or I need an account in euros to prove.
It can be in your local currency
Ah,
as long as it's equivalent to 10,000 euros.
wonderful. Because I got no idea how to make an account in euros here in Chile. So
No problem.
It was quite typical for me.
Of course, I understand, but no, they will accept it in your local currency.
That's great. I think that will be it for now. So thank
Brilliant.
you very much.
Thanking you. Take care. Hina, have you a question for me? I could be pronounced.
Yes.
How can I
Yes,
help?
you're pronouncing it right. Thank you. I would like to ask, I've been offered a structured PhD program offer in the School of Education. It is fully funded, but I wanted to bring my spouse with me. Could you describe the visa policy about spouse, whether I'll be able to apply? And if that is a yes, then will he have the permission to work or not?
Okay, in terms of bringing a spouse with you while doing a PhD, you can actually bring a spouse with you. However, your spouse will not be able to work while they're here. Okay, you will need to demonstrate that you can support your spouse financially for the duration of the time that you're going to be in Ireland, right? Hina, would you mind popping me an email to ulglobal@ul.ie and just in the email request information on the spousal visa, and I can send that to you.
Great. I had dropped an email, I think 2 days ago, or maybe a day ago, but I'll again duplicate that.
No problem. And as well, everybody, just to let you know that like when we're communicating with students, it's always very important when you're communicating with UL Global and every other admin office at the University of Limerick that you always quote your student ID number. Okay, so your student ID number is the number that's going to be in the top left-hand corner of your offer email. When you provide us with your student ID number, we can access your records. So we'll be able to answer your query much quicker once we have access to your records and we know what your information. So very important to always quote your student ID number. And equally as important, always check your spam folder. Okay, for communication from the University of Limerick. We've had, particularly for the visa support letter, quite often we've had students contact us to say that they haven't received their visa support letter, when in actual fact their visa support letter has been sent, but it's in their spam folder. Okay, so that's just something to think about. Okay. Florence, have you a question for me?
Yeah, I have some questions. Good day. I would like to know if the West African examination certificate and the letter of instruction from my university can stand
As proof of your English language requirement, is it?
Yes.
Okay, Florence. So did you receive a conditional or unconditional offer from the university?
Unconditional.
Unconditional. Okay, so obviously when our admissions team were reviewing your application, they were satisfied that you met the English language requirement. So Florence, your education, previous education, was English the medium of instruction?
Yes.
In that case, then what you need to do is you need to get back to the institutions where you studied and ask them to provide you with a letter confirming that English was the medium of instruction for the duration of your studies. And you can submit that with your visa application, those letters.
Okay. Also, I have another question. I would like to know if my uncle or a family friend can stand as a sponsor.
Yes, absolutely. You do. You can have a nominated sponsor, but that you'll have to show evidence of the relationship between you and that sponsor. Your sponsor will also need to provide all their financial documents. Now, all this information is in the PowerPoint presentations that I would have delivered in my previous sessions. So it's under financial documents. So on Monday, I'll have my colleague, Jennifer, send you, each and every one of you, the PowerPoint presentation again, okay? All the requirements, the immigration or the visa, should I say, requirement, the documents required are clearly stated. So it's very important that each and every one of you read the information carefully and go through all of the links, because all the information of what the visa office is looking for is right there. Okay. So that presentation, I'll ensure that is sent to you on Monday with the recording of this session also. So you can refer to that if you haven't already received it. Is that okay, Florence?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Florence. I'm moving on to Bhupesh. Have you a question for me? Bhupesh? Okay, Sadiq? No. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. I am going to move on to Asif. You have your hand raised. How can I help today?
Hi, Vicky. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so I did have a couple of questions. One was related to what the question Florence recently posted. So I got the answer for that. So I'll move on to second question is related to accommodation. So I have reserved my place for an on-campus accommodation in the university, but I have decided the option of paying my installments later. But I could see in the portal that the payment is still not yet been enabled for our first installment. So could you give me a timeline of when the payment option will be enabled in the Campus Live Service portal?
Oh, the Campus Live portal. Okay, Asif, you're going to have to contact accommodation directly in relation to that. Okay, so if you pay, when you pay through TransferMate, the payment comes in bulk. Okay, and then it's up to each department, whether it's student fees in terms of your tuition or the accommodations department, they then have to allocate all of the payments into the student's individual account. So while we might receive the TransferMate payment notification on a Monday, it might take a day or two for the admin office to post your individual payment to your individual account. Okay, so that's probably what the delay is. So can you see there, Asif, I have the link, the page up there with useful links and useful UL contacts, accommodation@ul.ie.
Okay.
Okay, there it is there.
Okay.
Accommodation@ul.ie. Pop them an email and they'll be able to confirm receipt of the payment or when the payment is going to be in your account.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Vicky.
Thank you, Asif. Michael, have you a question for me? Oh, I can hear you, yes. Okay. Okay, Michael, can I ask, did you receive a conditional or an unconditional offer? An unconditional offer. Okay, in that case, then our admissions team determined that you met the English language requirement. Okay, so what I would suggest is when you're submitting your visa application, you submit your unconditional offer along with your current Duolingo exam results. And that's if you have an unconditional offer, our admissions team deemed your English language to be proficient enough to study. So you submit both documents. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the next person I'm going to go to is MNM.
Hi, Vicky.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I wanted to ask, what are some of the main things that visa officers look out for once we submit our documents, and what are some helpful hints that you can give us as we prepare those documents?
That's a great question. Okay, so if you just bear with me 1 second, I am going to go back into one of my presentations and I am going to go to making payments. Sorry, now I'm just going to find the okay. Slideshow and current slide. Just bear with me a second. Okay, oops. Right, so these are, and this, I'll send this presentation to everybody on Monday also, but these are the common reasons that visas are actually denied, okay? So the first one is insufficient financial evidence. This is one of the top reasons why a student's visa is denied. If you can't demonstrate to the visa officer that you have sufficient funds to support yourself financially, they are not going to approve your student visa, okay? On this particular presentation, I have a link direct from the Irish Immigration website, which clearly states every financial document that they are looking for and will accept. So very important to read the information on that link. So finances is one thing. Sponsor. If you're being sponsored and your sponsored income doesn't support their claim that they are going to be able or in a position to support you financially, that is another reason your visa will be denied, okay? If your relationship with your sponsor is not clearly proven, if you just submit documents of a person and that person is your brother or that person is your mother or your father, and you do not show evidence of that relationship, that's another reason your visa is going to be denied, okay? If your sponsor is already financially overstretched, so if the visa officer looks at your sponsor's bank statements and sees that your sponsor is struggling financially, then how is your sponsor supposed to support themselves and their families and you while you're studying in Ireland. So you need to have, and again, I'll refer back to the information that's on the Irish Immigration website in terms of financial documents. It's really clear what they're looking for, so please refer to that. Another reason, weak ties to your home country. So and this is going, and I'll talk about this in a little while in more detail, the statement of purpose, right? In your statement of purpose, you need to show that you have strong connections to return back home. Now, you don't have to state that you're returning home immediately after you've graduated. In your statement of purpose, you are perfectly entitled to state that on graduation from the University of Limerick, I am hoping to avail of the third level graduate scheme and be working in Ireland. And once that has expired, I'm hoping to bring all of my experience back home to my home country. So having ties to go back to your home country is very, very important, whether it's family, property, a job, or wanting just to look for work in the area that you have studied. Another one, and this is an absolute ridiculous one, no student should ever be refused a visa on the basis of this inconsistent or incomplete documentation. On your AVATS form, if you've stated that you've worked in a company for 4 years, you must show evidence that you worked at said company for 4 years, okay? Likewise, in terms of your education, if on your AVATS form you said you have a 4-year bachelor's degree, you must show evidence of that 4 years bachelor's degree. You need to show transcripts for the four years that you've been studying, and you need to show that you have graduated from said university. Like, really, no student should ever be denied a student visa for incomplete or inconsistent documentation. If you're submitting an application, you must submit proof and evidence of everything that you stated on your AVATS form, okay? Previous violations, this is kind of a given. If you've overstayed in another country or if you've been denied a student visa, you must declare this. Students that fail to declare an overstay in a visa or a visa refusal from another country, whether that be a working visa or a student visa, you must declare it, because if you don't declare it, the Irish Visa Office has access to this information already. So if you don't declare it, this could result in an automatic visa refusal. Questionable travel history. Again, this is pretty straightforward. Having a travel history that raises concerns about the intention to stay or work illegally, okay? And this brings on to the suspicion of intent to work or stay illegally being perceived as your primary reason to study in Ireland, okay? And again, we're going back to the statement of purpose. Your primary reason for coming to Ireland and looking for a student visa is to study. It's not to work. So it's very important when you are writing your statement of purpose that you get the right balance. Yes, absolutely, you can say that you wish to avail of the third level graduate scheme, but ultimately your purpose is to study, to avail of the third level graduate scheme, and to come home, okay? Application errors, again, this goes back to kind of incomplete or inconsistent documentation. Your documentation must match 100% what you have stated on your AVATS form. Failure to convince the visa officer why this course, why Ireland and not in your home country. Again, statement of purpose. I can't emphasize how important a good, solid, genuine, compelling statement of purpose is. It's so important because it can be the make or break of a positive or negative visa decision. So it's very important that you spend the time on the statement of purpose. What I'll do is, after I've gone through all of these what I might do is I might actually do it now. If you go onto the visa and immigration section of our website, and it's up here, you can see here I have on the website, sorry, I'll just move this up here out of the way. Download our statement of purpose guide for your visa application. So you can go into that, and I have kind of point by point said, you know, you introduce yourself, why this course, why Ireland, why this university, your financial ability, your future plans, your your intent to return home, and your closing statement. Okay. So all that information is there for you to refer to. And it's very, very important that you look at that and have a strong statement of purpose. Okay, does that answer your question? Or does that help in any way?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much, Vicky.
No problem at all. And again, all this information is on the visa and immigration section of our website. So please have a look at that. Okay. Thank you. Hussein, have you a question for me?
Yes, good afternoon, Vicky.
Good afternoon. How can I help today?
I have a question regarding the immigration service delivery
Yes.
customer portal. Like, when do we need to register for an account?
Okay, with regards to the immigration registration, and I will be doing another session before you arrive where I will go into this in more detail. With the immigration registration and create an account on the digital contact center, which is the immigration portal, you cannot do that until you're physically in the country. You're not supposed to do that until you're physically here. So when you arrive, our orientation is starting on Monday, the 31st of August, and I'll be seeing each and every one of you in person. I will go through how to create the account, what documents, what questions, the answers to the questions that you're going to be asked. And ideally, what I would be hoping after I meet with each and every one of you on the 31st of August is that you get your account created on the Digital Contact Center portal and that you get your appointment secured. Again, this is something that I will go through in more detail as we get closer to August. But to answer your question, you cannot do that until you arrive.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanking you. Harris, have you a question for me?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I'm already in Ireland, and I just wanted to. My question was similar to Mariana that she asked. I have a renewal coming up, and I haven't received any admission enrollment letter yet. But so it's coming up in 15th of August. So do I have to pay 50% fees before the enrollment letter?
Absolutely, absolutely. In order, our admissions team send what we call an enrollment task to students. And basically that enrollment task, there's 7 kind of steps within the enrollment task that you need to complete. It's like checking your personal details. It's confirming that the program you've been offered and so on. But in order, Harris, to get that enrollment task, you must have paid 50% of your tuition fees.
Okay, and when is the last date for that?
Can I ask when your IRP is due for renewal? What's the expiry date on your IRP?
30th of September.
Okay, so you have a bit of time. So Harris, if you want to get access to your confirmation of registration and attendance letter, which is a letter that's going to be required for your immigration renewal, you will have to pay that 50%. I would try, because you're already in Ireland, I would say you would definitely need to be paying that the second week in August.
Okay.
In order, because you're not going to receive the enrollment task unless you've 50% paid.
Okay, and am I going to get any link to pay the fees or something?
What program have you been offered the program yet?
It's a Master of Science in Economics
Okay.
and Policy Analysis.
Okay, so Harris, if you go on to, can you see the page that I have opened there? That's the Visa and Immigration section of our website. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll send you the PowerPoint presentation on Monday also. If you go on to this, it tells you how you can pay your student fees. Let me see. Surely it does. Maybe not on that. Visa and Immigration. Just bear with me a second now. Sorry, now my system is just taking a little while to.
That's all right.
Statement of purpose, Q&A. This little thing is in my way. Okay, so on the visa presentation, I have a slide there. Just a second. Immigration Airport, third level visa support letter. Making payments to the University of Limerick. Okay, so you can make your payment via TransferMate, and TransferMate details are on the Visa and Immigration section of our website also. So Harris, I will ensure that I will ensure that this presentation is sent to everybody on the call here this afternoon. So you can pay via TransferMate. You can also pay over the phone. The tuition fee schedule is there as well, so you can see what the tuition fees are. All right. Okay, so all that information is there, and all that information is on the Visa and Immigration section of our website also. All right.
All right.
Thank you, Harris.
But I haven't received this one before, so.
You haven't received which?
This presentation before.
You haven't received it before. I will send it. I will have my colleague Jennifer send it to everyone on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Harris. Pearl, what's your question? Pearl,
hi, Vicky. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm good, thank you. What can I do for you today?
Okay. Yeah, so my question is relating to accommodation and visa application. So I have registered for the accommodations and I'm yet to get an offer.
Okay.
For the accommodation, and I'm ready to, apply for my visa. So
Okay.
how do I go about it without an offer?
Okay, so in that case, Pearl, right, the visa office need to see that you have something secured. Now, whether that's just temporary, like as in an Airbnb or a bed and breakfast or a hotel for a few nights while you actually look for off-campus accommodation if you don't have, if you can't get on-campus accommodation. So what I would suggest, Pearl, is that you book maybe an Airbnb for 2 or 3 days and show them that confirmation. Okay. If you go on to the accommodation website, so just go into the generic UL website, type in accommodation. And they will have a list of B&Bs, Airbnbs, hotels and lodges that are in the immediate vicinity of the university. So have something booked for 2 or 3 days while you're searching for off-campus accommodation, if it's off-campus accommodation that you're going to go with. And you can provide evidence of that then as part of your visa application.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pearl. Nora, have you a question for me?
Hi, yes, please.
Go ahead.
My question is relating to appeals. Do you have any idea how long it takes to process an appeal?
Well, I know with when a student receives a visa rejection, they have 30 days to appeal that decision. Okay. In terms of how long the appeal decision will take, that varies country to country and obviously the visa office that you're dealing with. But typically, the visa appeals are turned around a lot faster than the actual visa application. Okay. I'm glad you brought this question up, Nora, because this is something that some of you might find yourself in terms of that you don't have your visa decision, or and obviously we're quickly approaching orientation and that. So
Yes.
our orientation starts on Monday, the 31st of August. Our classes start on Monday, the 7th of September. Most, not all, most programs at the University of Limerick will accept late arrivals. And when I say a late arrival, the late arrival cutoff date is week 3. So I'm just going to check what that is now, if you bear with me a second. Sorry, I really should have had this to hand. So if Monday is week 1, 2, 3. So it'll be the 21st of September. So that is the latest day of arrival, the 21st of September, for programs that do accept late arrivals. So if you find yourself in a situation where you still haven't received your visa support letter and we're fastly approaching those dates, what you need to do is, 1, you need to contact your course leader. Where will you find your course leader's contact details? On the course information page. Okay, you need to email your course leader and you need to copy UL Global. So I'm aware that your visa is delayed and that you have approached your course leader for a possible late arrival. Your course leader will then confirm whether or not a late arrival is an option. And at least that, and then I will be aware that you are going to be arriving late. Okay. Some courses do not accept late arrivals at all. Some courses will require that you are on campus for the 31st of August. If you have not received your visa support letter, or if you're not in the country or here and ready to start your course at that time, you are going to have to apply for a deferral. Okay. So what you need to do is, if you find that we're kind of getting to the end of August, you still haven't your visa decision, you need to be in contact with your course leader. Okay, you need to be having this discussion and keeping your course leader informed. If you are not eligible for a late arrival, you'll have to defer. And that deferral request will go to our admissions office. You can email me to say at ulglobal@ul.ie, Vicky, I need to defer my course. And I will forward your email to our admissions team and they will look at your deferral request. So it's very important that if you are waiting on your visa and you don't think it's going to come in time, that you are in communication with me and your course leader to let us know. As well as that, for those of you that actually have received your visa approval, you need to let me know so I can update my records, okay? So it's a simple email to ulglobal@ul.ie. It's, hi Vicky, I received my visa approval, here it is, and that's it, and I'll update your records accordingly. Okay, is that okay, Nora?
Yes, please. That's very informative. Thank you.
Thank you, Nora. Eric, have you a question for me?
Yes, thank you, Vicky. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm okay.
Good. How can I help you today?
My questions will be some kind of follow-up regarding what you just said, and then I'm going to ask an original question.
Okay.
But first of all, let me begin from the follow-up questions. Just in case, number one, for those that their visas are refused, I wanted to get a definitive pronouncement regarding probably the number of days that it can take to get an answer, a decision regarding your appeal. So can we have like a duration for those? Of course, mine is not going to be refused. I'm going to get it, but just this is an informative session. But for those that don't, can we have like a range of days or maybe weeks that we can expect that for people in that category, they're going to get a visa decision on their appeals?
Okay, so as I mentioned when I was speaking to Nora, the latest day for most, not all, the latest day for arrival is the 21st of September, which is Monday, the beginning of week 3 of our semester. So if you haven't received a decision on your appeal by that point, Eric, you're going to have to defer your course. Okay, now that is all dependent on whether your course will accept late arrivals. Okay, some courses, as I mentioned, require you to be on campus for Monday, the 31st of August. So you will need to identify with your course leader what date you need to be on campus. And if you are eligible for a late arrival up to week 3, which is Monday the 21st. But Monday the 21st is the cutoff point. We cannot accept any students after that date. And at that point, then you will be looking at contacting ourselves at UL Global with the option to defer or to withdraw from the program altogether. So the cutoff date is going to be the 21st.
Okay, thank you. Secondly, I am studying MSc Finance. I don't know if you can tell me if particularly I have late date arrival or not. I don't know if you can give me that information.
Eric, unfortunately, I can't. Obviously, we have a lot of programs and I'm not familiar with the cutoff dates for each and every one of the programs. You wouldn't, and obviously year to year, this cutoff date does change. But we have agreed with our admissions team that our cutoff date is the 21st. However, it's at the discretion of the course leader. So what I would advise you to do, if you think you're going to find yourself in this situation, Eric, is contact your course leader directly and have a chat with him or her about it.
Okay, then the other question. Thank you, Vicky, so far. Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome.
The other question is, if people defer their admission, when is going to be, is it just September only, or probably there's the January, probably they can join January, or it's just September admission for those that defer?
95% of our programs have a September entry only. So the likelihood is, Eric, and I do know this for a fact, with the MSc in finance, we only have a September intake. So if you do find yourself in the situation where you have to defer, you will then be looking to come and join us in September 2027.
Okay, anyways, thank you, Vicky.
But no problem.
I'm not going to be in that situation. I'm just asking for the purpose of knowing. I'm not going to be there. I'm hoping that my visa will be out around ending of August or first week of September, hopefully by the grace of God.
Brilliant, okay. Eric. Now, best of luck with it. And I admire your optimism. It's contagious.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you.
And, the other question is, when we get to Ireland, after visa has been approved, are we going to come straight to the campus, or are there some things that at the border they're going to check? Are there documents, some things we are going to carry as we are flying to Ireland?
Yeah, as I mentioned it earlier there in the session, Eric, if you go onto the main section of our visa and immigration website, and do you see here, what documents do I require if I do not need a visa or need or need for airport immigration control. So these are the documents here that you need to bring with you. So have those documents in your hand luggage that you'll be able to present to airport immigration control. They'll review your documents, they'll stamp your passport, and they'll give you 90 days, they should give you 90 days to register with immigration. I'll be meeting with you all on the 31st and 31st of August, hopefully. And I'm going to just chat to you a little bit more about that for our late arrivals. I will be meeting everyone on the 31st of August, and I will be going through what the immigration registration process looks like.
Something like submitted.
Okay, then finally, Vicky, thank you so much. Finally,
45%.
Can you make? Can I just ask everybody else except for Eric have themselves on mute, please? Eric, go ahead.
Okay, so finally, my question is, in UL, are there scholarship opportunities maybe for brilliant performing students? If you perform exceptionally well, probably your CGPA it's very high. Are there scholarship opportunities that somebody can get?
Right, we don't have scholarships offered or available for students after they've been actually accepted. So if you were eligible for a scholarship, Eric, you would have been notified at offer stage.
Yes, I was given a scholarship.
Yeah.
In my offer letter.
Yeah, so basically, you know, it'll all depend. And again, this goes back to like your particular department. You know, you would need to see if they have scholarships available for high achievers. But from a UL global perspective, the only scholarship that we have, and which you obviously have secured, is the merit-based scholarship. And that is, you will receive notification of that with your offer.
Okay, thank you so much, Vicky. I already got that. Thank you.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well done. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Moving on to Adve.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What's your question? How can I help?
Okay, so my question is pertaining to the visa. So I'm applying from India and I applied sometime in June.
Okay.
But my bank was like kind of delaying things, and my visa appointment date ended up being postponed, and we're still not sure if it's going to be sometime this week or next week. So what I wanted to ask was, I have made the 50% payment of the first year's fees for my course. And I wanted to know if once the payment is acknowledged by the university, I will get some support for the visa because I don't want to be late to campus.
Yeah, absolutely. So as soon as we receive notification, how did you make the payment, Adve?
I believe I've made it via TransferMate.
Okay, great. So TransferMate will notify us as soon as the payment has been confirmed. And once they do, then I generate a visa support letter for you. And on that visa support letter, it states that you paid 50%, okay? You can provide this letter to the visa office, and also you can download a UL tuition fee receipt, which states the exact amount that you paid.
Okay.
So your TransferMate receipt and your UL official receipt will state the exact amount that you have paid, whereas my visa support letter will state that you have paid 50%. That is the visa requirement, okay? We never ever state on our visa support letters the exact amount. It's your responsibility as a student to provide the TransferMate and the UL official tuition fee receipt, okay? Once you have those documents, then they satisfy, the immigration or the visa office, should I say, will accept them as proof of tuition paid.
Okay, and I had a second question, which is after the university has acknowledged the payment, how long would it take to receive the visa letter?
So when Transformate notifies me of a payment, Adve, I generate the visa support letter the very same day. Okay, so it's instant that when I generate the visa support letter. It can take up to 48 hours for our system to produce the letter, depending on how busy the system is. But typically, once I receive notification, once I receive once I authorize the visa support letter, you could actually receive the visa support letter the same day.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Okay,
That's
so
all
it's based on not when you make the payment to Transformate, but when Transformate notifies us.
Okay, I got that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too. Take care. I'm moving on to Xenia now.
Yeah, hello.
Hello,
So
Xenia. How can I help?
I'm fine, thank you. So I'm an international student studying in Germany, and I'm planning to do my Erasmus program, so studying abroad with Limerick University. And I will have grant, so funds from Erasmus Plus program. But
Okay.
I don't have money, and I don't understand. Should I show something for visa that I can pay for myself during my semester, or how?
Xenia, can I ask, do you have a German passport?
No, I have Kazakhstan passport.
Okay. So you will need to provide evidence that you have access to, because you're not going to be with us for a full year. How long are you going to be with us for? Is it one semester?
Yeah, one semester, upcoming autumn.
Okay, so you need to show evidence that you have, I think it kind of works out at 833 euros per month for the time you're going to be here. So if you're going to be here for September, October, November, and December, it's going to be 4 times 833, and that's to support yourself financially for the duration of your studies.
Mm-hmm. So can I apply for a visa with this just Erasmus grant? Because I will have, I guess, 850 euros.
Yes, absolutely. You'll need to show evidence of that grant as part of your visa application.
Mm-hmm. Even if I have no money yet.
Absolutely. You are getting that grant, and once you have confirmation that you will be in receipt of this grant and how much the grant is going to be, that will be sufficient for the visa officer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Franklin, have you a question?
Yeah, good day, Vicky.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, thank you. How can I help today?
Okay, my question is, I'm on my visa application, and for the 50% for me to receive the
Visa support, yeah.
Yeah, visa support. Currently, my sponsors' money, almost part of them are in fixed deposits, which is treasury bill. So she could only pay for 45%. And I want to know if I can still pay the 45 and submit my visa on time, so that maybe by first week of September she could get the remaining 5%, then I get it to pay.
Okay. Franklin, can I ask, have you paid 50% of your tuition fee?
No, that's
Not
what I'm
yet.
saying. It's
Okay.
45% now.
Right. Okay, Franklin, unfortunately, it's university policy that I cannot issue a visa support letter until I am physically unable. My system will not allow me generate a visa support letter until 50% of the tuition fee has been paid.
Okay. But still, with the visa support letter, I can still submit for the visa and show that.
I wouldn't recommend that any student starts their visas or submits their visa support until they have their visa support letter from ourselves at the University of Limerick. That is one very important piece of documentation that the visa officer will need to see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Please, Vicky, can you give me opportunity to ask one more question? I forgot. If you can give me.
Absolutely, Eric. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Vicky. Now, oftentimes you've been saying the deadlines, 31st of August is going to be orientation, and then most of the programs will start around 7th of September. I want to ask, is the visa office, in considering visa approval, I hope they bear in mind the timeline for the school. Will they do that? Because on our campus platform, a lot of students have applied for visa for the past 2 months and no reply. So I'm just asking, are they working in tandem with the school in terms of being conscious with dates and time so that they'll be able to help the students to also meet up all of these deadlines too? Thank you, Vicky.
Absolutely, Eric. On a weekly basis, I send a report to the Department of Foreign Affairs, and that report includes the details of every visa required student that has been offered a place of study at the University of Limerick. So, Eric, the visa offices, this report then is distributed to all of the Irish visa offices worldwide. So all of the Indian, just say, for example, all of my Indian students, all their details have gone to New Delhi. All of my, students from, let me see.
I'm from Nigeria, Vicky.
All of my students from Nigeria, they would have all gone to the Irish Embassy in Nigeria, in Abuja. All of your information is on a big, massive spreadsheet. And on that spreadsheet, Eric, I specify your name, your date of birth, how much money you've paid, what program you've been offered, the start date of that program, the latest date that you can arrive. So the visa offices, yes, they are very much aware and work with, to try and get the visa supports or the visa decisions out to students, because they know when the visas or when the classes are starting. Now, you mentioned Monday, the 31st of August. Just to be very, very clear, Monday, the 31st of August is our orientation week. Classes do not start until September the 7th, okay? Now, lots of students, for this particular reason, because their visas are waiting on their visas or they're waiting on their passports to be sent back to them, are going to miss orientation. And that's absolutely fine. If at all possible, we say to students, please, make every effort to go to orientation. Obviously, through circumstances beyond your control, not everybody can do that. So I don't know if you can see on my screen now at the moment, I have a list of information, registration sessions, immigration sessions that I will be holding. And this is to accommodate students that cannot be here from Monday, the 31st of August. So we will be providing kind of late arrival sessions for students that find themselves in the situation where they're still waiting on their visa to be sent to them in their passport. But yes, Eric, to answer your question, the Irish visa offices are very aware of the start dates for all of the Irish universities.
Thank you, Vicky, so much. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Lucia, have you a question for me?
Hi, good morning. Oh, sorry, it's the morning for me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How can I help?
Yes, I have an unconditional offer to study a master's program, which I intend to defer for next year. I'm from Argentina.
Okay.
So my question involves a personal situation and what I need for the airport immigration control. I have been classified as a non-EU student for tuition purpose, but I hold a Spanish citizenship. And I have a valid Spanish passport. So I would like to confirm whether I can enter Ireland using my Spanish passport even though I'm going to study, for example.
Okay, right. So you have a dual passport, a Spanish passport. You will not be required to apply for a student visa, nor will you be obliged to register with immigration based on your Spanish passport. However, the tuition fees, they're not calculated on your passport, or to be determined for EU fees, you have to be living and working in an EU country for 3 years immediately prior to university admission to be eligible for EU fees. So if you don't meet that criteria, you will be considered an EU student for the purposes of immigration, however, a non-EU student from a fees perspective. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So Lucia, are you deferring your place from this academic year to next academic year?
Yes.
Okay, have you notified ourselves at UL Global and also the admissions team?
I have, but I have not paid my my fee yet, so I intend to do that first before I can send you my deferment letter.
Okay, that's right, because in order to have a deferment, you have to have accepted your place and paid €1,000, and we'll retain that €1,000 until next September when you come in September, and that €1,000 can be deducted then from your tuition fee.
Okay, all right. Yes, thank you. I was concerned about the immigration part and what I need to do at the airport.
Yeah.
But thank you. It's very clear.
No problem, Lucia. Once you have a Spanish passport, there's no immigration and there's no visa required, and there's no immigration registration required either.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Vicky, so much.
Thank you. Harina, have you a question for me?
Hi, Vicky.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. What can I do for you today? How can I help?
I just wanted to confirm some information. So I'll be arriving from Canada in August, and I was informed that since I hold a Canadian passport, I will not need a student visa to study in Ireland, but I'll just have to register with immigration once I arrive there.
That's
correct. Is that correct?
It
Okay.
is indeed.
And then do I need to fill out any forms or application other than just like gather my required documents that I need to show?
Not at the moment. There's nothing that you need to do in terms from our perspective or from the admissions office. You will have, what I would suggest is that you do carry all those documents to present to Airport Immigration Control, whether you're flying into Dublin, Shannon or Cork, okay? So all that documentation is on the Visa and Immigration section of our website. In terms of doing anything between now and your arrival, I think for the vast majority of you, unless you have academic documentation outstanding that needs to go to our admissions team, you don't have to do anything other than the enrollment task, and that enrollment task you will not be receiving until mid-August. So I think that's it for now.
Okay. And then will I have 90 days for the visa process, or is that something that will be done upon arrival?
Yeah, 90 days. So basically, if you provide Airport Immigration Control with all of the correct documentation, they will see that yes, you have a student, you are a student, you have an offer letter, you have accommodation, you have medical insurance, that you have paid 50% of your tuition fees. They should stamp you for 90 days. Okay. And it's my responsibility then to guide you through when you come the immigration registration process and get you registered by that time.
Okay, so will my cutoff be September 21st or no?
The September, no, you'll arrive when your program starts. You're not visa required, so there's no reason why you can't be here for Monday the 31st of August. The cutoff date for the 21st of September applies to students that have still not received their student visa.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. And then where will I receive the visa support letter? I've already paid 50% of my tuition fees, and then TransferMate had already confirmed that it's been processed, but I didn't
Okay.
receive a letter. Will it be through email or
You're
student
not going
portal?
to receive, Harina, you're not going to receive a visa support letter because you don't need a student visa to study in
Okay.
Ireland. Okay. So
Okay,
what
got
you
it.
can do is you have your TransferMate receipt confirming that you've paid your tuition fees, and you can also download a UL tuition fee receipt. So you can present both those documents to Airport
Just a
Immigration
receipt.
Control. Yeah.
Okay, okay, got it. And then just one last question. My accommodation is on campus. Do I need an IRP or anything like that?
The IRP is your Irish residence permit, and that's not, I'll go through that with you in more detail. You're not going to get your Irish residence permit until you've registered and visited immigration in Dublin. This is something that I'll go through with you in August, September when I meet with you. So it's your Irish residence permissions, it's your immigration permissions. That's what your IRP card is. That's nothing got to do with your accommodation. That's got to do with getting you onto the immigration registration, immigration portal. And we'll get you sorted with that when you come in August, September.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I just want to have a look there now, see how many more questions we have. I'm conscious we're gone over half an hour into our allocated time. Sadiq, do you have a question for me?
Yes, please. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. So my question is with the $10,000 €10,000 bond. So I've already paid my 50%, and I'm like trying to figure out how to make that $10,000 bond, because I think that would be better than providing financial statements.
Okay, so if you just bear with me 1 second, again, all this information would have been sent in the previous visa presentation, but if you just bear with me 1 second. Oh God, sorry, just 1 second. I'm going into the. Bear with me 1 second now, and I'll get that up for you.
Okay, thank you.
Financial documents.
And also, would I have to make that payment before I start my visa application, or
Absolutely, because you must show the visa officer that you have immediate access to this money.
Okay.
Okay, so this link, Sadiq, is going to be on the PowerPoint presentation. If you haven't already received it before at our previous sessions, I'll send it, it'll be sent again on Monday, okay? But basically, this is the link, and it's direct from the Irish Immigration website, and it clearly defines what exactly documentation they are looking for. So if you go down to the very end of the screen, again, it goes details of your sponsor, if you have a sponsor, alternative evidence of finance, degree program students only. So this is the information, and the education bond can be secured through TransferMate also, which is really, really good because it's very, very quick. So again, it's all the information is there. So please, everyone, all the information is there. It's on the link. So please, please just read the information that I'm sharing with you. Okay. So
also I have a question. So with the 10,000 bond, once you make that payment, like where do I still have access to the money once I get into Ireland? Or
yes,
is it
you've access to that once you get to Ireland. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it, Sadiq?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Jizna, do you have a question for me? Jizna? I could be pronouncing your name incorrectly. Please forgive me if I am. Jisna.
Oh, hi.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I help?
So I haven't paid my tuition fee yet, but I'm trying to pay it as soon as possible. So I would like to pay the full amount. But in case my visa didn't arrive on time, will I get the amount back and then I have to pay the whole amount next year? I know there is like an add-on that comes in every year with the tuition fee payment, right?
Okay, so just say, for example, that you pay your tuition fee in full and your visa isn't approved in time. What we will do then is, if you want to apply for a deferral, we'll retain the €1,000 acceptance fee and we'll return all of the rest to you. And then you can pay that again next year when you're coming in September. If for deferrals, we'll always retain the acceptance deposit.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, what I'm going to do now is, because I'm fairly conscious that we've gone a half an hour over and I haven't addressed any of the questions there in the Q&A, I'm going to just go read through some of those questions and get through some of those, and then we'll have to finish up our session this afternoon. So I'm just going to, one question there from Vina, is it okay to show accommodation address in Offaly for the visa application purposes? Visa application purposes, absolutely, it's fine to show an address, but Offaly is a good distance. If this is where you're going to be staying, Vina, when you arrive in Ireland, are you going to be commuting from Offaly? Because that's a fair distance from the university campus. So just to bear that in mind, that you might need to secure something a little bit more local. Another question there from Rory. I had a question about the third level graduate scheme. My understanding is that I can apply to stay in Ireland to look out for work after I complete. Yes, that's absolutely correct, Rory. You can, if you're a master's student, you can stay to, on successful completion of your program, you can stay to for up to 24 months, 2 years. Working in Ireland, and any undergraduate students on our call this afternoon, you can stay for up to 12 months. I think I've answered that. Christy is asking, can I wait to the last day to make my payment for accommodation as I'm waiting for my visa approval? Christy, I think the answer to that is yes, you can. However, just to be 100% sure, I would advise you to contact the accommodations office directly, and I'm just going to pop their email into the chat there, and you can reach out to them directly. Oh God, just sorry, 1 second now. God, why isn't this working? Okay. Okay, a lot of these questions that you've typed in, I've addressed over the last hour and a half. Irish, you're looking about information on a lease agreement. So lease agreements will all be dependent on who you're renting accommodation off. They vary in terms of duration and also the price. On-campus accommodation, if I'm not mistaken, everyone, on-campus accommodation is fully booked at the moment, but you can opt to be put on a waiting list. So go onto the accommodation website. There'll be lots of information there on off-campus accommodation. Okay, Shampa, your email, just your message. Sorry, you couldn't use your mic. Okay. How many days after we pay our 50% tuition does it take you all to issue the visa support letter? So if you are paying by TransferMate, the day we are notified, I generate or authorize the visa support letter. More often than not, you will have that visa support letter the same day. Worst case scenario, it takes 48 hours from the time I generate it to the time it gets to your email address, depending on how busy it is. Okay, Bhupesh, you've just said there that you've received a conditional offer and your university is delaying, your results won't be available until the first week of August. Bhupesh, you won't be able to start your visa. If you're applying to the Irish visa office in New Delhi, you cannot start your visa application with a conditional offer. You will have to get confirmation of an unconditional offer before you start your visa application. So if you're not available to arrive by the course start dates I mentioned before in the session today, most courses will allow a late arrival up until week 3. Some courses you will not allow any late arrival. You'll need to contact your course director directly to see if a late arrival is possible. If it's not, you're going to have, and you still don't have your student visa on time, you will have to look at the option of deferring until next year. Okay. I've gone through most of the questions in the Q&A, everybody. There's still some hands raised. If you don't have a question, can you please take down your raised hand and I'll do a quick fly through of any more outstanding questions. Okay. Florence, you've your hand raised there. What can I do for you?
Yeah. You talked about paying the 50% tuition and having the 10,000 euro in your sponsor's account. I would like to know if I am required to have the remaining 50% and the 10,000 in his account. I mean my sponsor, or just the 10,000.
Well, the 10,000 is to support yourself financially, but you should have the remaining 50%. How are you funding your tuition fees?
I have a sponsor.
So for the purposes of the visa application, you need to have 50% tuition fees paid. Okay, you also need to have immediate access to 10,000 euros. The remaining 50% of your tuition fee does not have to be paid to the University of Limerick until the beginning of the second semester, which is going to be January 2027. So as long as you're 50% paid, as long as you have access to the 10,000 euros, that will be sufficient for the visa application. But ideally, you should have access to the, know that you will have access to the 50% for your tuition for next semester. Is that okay, Florence?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Pearl? What's your question, Pearl? Okay, your hand has gone down. Bhupesh, do you have another question? Ernest,
As I mentioned, like my home university, I mean my undergraduate university has been delaying my transcripts and everything.
I'm
Can you
sorry,
hear me?
can you repeat that question and speak a little bit louder? It's just I'm having difficulty hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
As I said, my home university has been delaying my transcript and degree process. So if I applied on August 1st for everything like visa, then condition offer letter and everything, like even if the visa got delayed like 23rd or September like that, can I defer? And if I defer, how my full tuition fee will be? Like you will kept it or you will send it back to me?
Okay, I've explained this already, okay? So basically what happens if you actually defer your studies to next academic year, what we will do is our fees office will retain your acceptance deposit of 1,000 euros and they will refund you the rest of your tuition. And then next year, when you're reapplying for your visa, you will pay 50% of the tuition less your acceptance deposit. Does that make sense?
Yes, then I have to pay the next year tuition fee. Like there will be an increment, so I have to pay the extra amount too, right?
Can you repeat that?
What I meant is like the next year there will be fee increment, right? Tuition fee increment. So I have to pay the extra amount to add on to this.
So basically, what you'll be required to do is whatever the fee is in 27-28 Bupit, you'll be required to pay 50% of that, whatever that tuition fee is. Because we've retained your €1,000 acceptance deposit, you can deduct that €1,000 from the 50%.
Yeah, I also have a question. Like somehow, like if the classes start, still I can defer. Like in September 8th or 9th, they are saying like you cannot have the extended. Like you have to be on campus on 7th September. Then can I defer then, right? On September 8th or something?
No, what I said was some courses will allow you a late arrival up until the 21st, week 3. Okay, you will need to contact your course leader and you will need to find out if they are willing to allow you a late arrival up to week 3. If they do, then you can, and you get your visa by this date, you can come this year.
Yeah, what I meant is like if my visa got delayed then too, can I defer like in September 10 or something?
Yes, you can. If you wish to do that, you can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Bupet. Ernest, do you have a question for me? No. Just 1 second. Gisna, what's your question? How can I help? Okay. Okay, I think that's mostly all of the questions. Say, you've just raised your hand there. What can I do? Well, how can I help?
Good afternoon, Vicky and team. Just a quick question. I would like to inquire how many times is a student allowed to defer for another session, for another year?
Okay, that's course dependent. Okay, so our deferral requests go through our admissions team. And our admissions team would reach out to the course leader and would ask if a deferral is possible for that particular course. I have seen students defer up to 2 years, not beyond that. But
all right,
again,
thank you very much.
Yeah, it's all dependent. You need to contact the course leader and the admissions office will be able to tell you. Marilyn, you have a question there?
Yes, hello, Vicky.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Vicky. So I would like to ask a question regarding arrival. Hopefully when we get our visas and everything is successful, I want to know why booking a ticket, are we expected? Is it compulsory to land in Dublin, or can one land in Shannon or Cork, or is it compulsory that we must land in Dublin?
Absolutely not. And if at all possible, I would be advising if your airline does fly into Shannon, to fly into Shannon. Shannon is only 35 minutes away from the university. Okay, so it's very, very close. Whereas Dublin, you're going to have to get a bus from Dublin to Limerick University, and that bus ride is going to take you about 2.5 hours. So if at all possible, Shannon would be so much more convenient. Okay. Our arrival team is going to be in contact with you in the coming weeks and will be providing kind of information on arriving on campus. So our arrival team will tell you kind of like what buses are available from Dublin if you're arriving into Dublin. I do think if I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure, so please don't quote me. We do normally have airport pickup collection from Shannon Airport on specified dates. But again, Marilyn, all this information will come from our student engagement team over the coming weeks in the countdown emails. So monitor your emails, please, daily, because between now and arrival, we will be sending an awful lot of information.
Okay, that's fine. One more question, please, Vicky. I didn't get the email for downloading the receipt, the UL receipt. I have my TransferMate receipt, but I don't have my UL receipt. Please, could you share the email or how to get the UL receipt again? I didn't get that. Sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem, no problem. So if you, I'm still sharing my screen there, Marilyn, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, so this is the Visa and Immigration section of the UL Global's website, okay? So if you go on to that, if you bear with me, accommodation, how should I show evidence that I paid my tuition fees? It's there, okay. I thought I had, sorry, forgive me, that's the TransferMate one. Just bear with me. I'm going back into the presentation now, the visa presentation, which I'm going to send to you on Monday. And this is how you get the tuition fee receipt. Can you see that there on my screen?
Yes, I can.
Actually, I put it into slideshow, current slide. It'd probably be better. Okay, so that's how you do it. And as I said, you're just logging into the UL student portal and you can download it from there. Okay.
Okay, the UL student portal, not the email, not the gps@ul.ie, but
no,
the
it's
portal.
it's the portal. It's the login portal.
Login portal. Okay.
Yeah. I'll have my colleague Jennifer send this presentation on Monday. So this presentation and also information on our late arrival sessions. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Vicky. I appreciate that.
No problem. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Abdul Kaman, have you a question
Hello.
for me? How are you?
How are you? Thank you for all the clarification. Thank you
You're
a lot.
very welcome.
I have a question. I'm an international student from Gaza. I submitted my student visa application and all documented. But my question, my original passport is not, I cannot enable to present during the circumstances of the situation here. My original passport not me. Would be the recommended procedure about this situation if I cannot get my original passport? I have just photo or have PDF for this passport.
So if you only have a PDF?
Yes, I have photo or PDF. I cannot get the original passport due to the close or blocker here. I cannot get here.
Okay, and is that in terms of, is that documentation that our admissions office is looking for you?
Again?
Can you just repeat that? Because I'm not quite sure I fully understand what the question is.
The question is, my original passport unable to present at me what here. I just have a copy for it or just a photo from it. If I get the visa, I get my visa approved. What the situation in this next step?
Okay, so you're referring to your passport.
Yes.
Okay, you need to actually have the passport to apply for a student visa. Now, obviously, your situation is quite different. Abdul Karim, would you mind sending me an email to ulglobal@ul.ie, because what we might do is I don't want to have this conversation in on this platform. Maybe I can give you a call during the week and I can tell you what your options are, or see what options are available to you. So if you want to pop me an email to ulglobal@ul.ie, I'll come back to you and we'll make a plan.
Yes, I will do that as soon as possible.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Rena, your hand is still raised there.
Thanks, Vicky, and I'm sorry for repeated questions. So would a letter, in terms of the accommodation, would a letter from the hosting the student be sufficient to
Yes,
the accommodation?
absolutely. Yeah. So if you're staying with a host family, what you'll need is a letter from the host family confirming that you're going to be staying with them at that address. In addition to that, Rena, what the host family will need to provide is a utility bill in their name with that address. So those two documents for staying with the host family.
Okay, and for example, if when the student arrives for a month or so, the student might be living away from Limerick. So would that be okay? Is it acceptable?
Yes, absolutely. For the purposes of the visa application, that is perfectly acceptable. However, when the student comes to Ireland, when they're registering with immigration, they need to have a permanent address, because that is the contact address that's going to go onto the International Immigration Register. But for the purposes of the visa application, yes, that's perfectly suitable.
Thank you. And in terms of the response, so the 50% tuition fee that's required now to avail the visa, so the sponsor is making that payment. So do we need to supply the sponsor financial documents like the employment letter, bank statement, pay slips, and all that?
Not for the tuition fee payment. All the visa office wants to see for the tuition fee payment is the transfer mate receipt, the visa support letter, and the UL official tuition receipt. They're not going to look for that level of documentation for the tuition.
Great. One last question. You mentioned during the Q&A and throughout the sessions, application letter, letter of acceptance, and there were several other documents you mentioned, which is not listed in the immigration website. So it would be really helpful to see the list of documents required for the visa from your perspective. Where can I find that information? I've gone through the immigration website. I've made a list, but I would like to see what's your list, please.
Are you
Yes,
are you actually coming to the University of Limerick, or is it your niece?
It's my niece.
Yeah, has your niece attended any of my visa sessions?
This is the first session she's attending.
Okay. So I'm going to be sending you the visa presentation on Monday. Okay. Great. So on this presentation, there's over, let me see, there's 20 slides on this presentation. Just a second now, I'm going to show you here. Okay, page up.
Sorry, Vicky, I understand this must be very frustrating, but I've been on the website.
Not at all. No, I just wanted to clarify whether it was you or whether it was your niece. And obviously, like, you know, depending on when students actually receive their offer letter, I can't always assume that the students have been to one of my previous sessions. So that's why I was just asking.
Yes,
but I'm going to send you this on Monday, okay? And basically, in terms of the documentation, sorry, now I'm just going to move this up here. In terms of the documentation, this is all directly from the Irish Immigration website, but I have it condensed and simplified, okay? So here is a list of all the documents that are required. But if you actually go onto this website, right, it's the passport, more information, photographs, information, private medical insurance, application letter, visa refusals. It's all there. So have a look at that, okay? What I'll do is
I've been on that. I've made a list, but today you spoke about this student visa support letter, then the offer letter, then the then there is an application letter. So there's different types of letters. So I'm not too sure what each letter is covering or.
Okay, so in terms of the visa application, Rena, what your niece needs to be sending is her offer letter and her letter from the admissions office saying that she has accepted her letter. So our admissions team, once a student pays the €1,000 acceptance deposit, our admissions team send an email to the student to say, thank you for your acceptance deposit. We have updated your records and you have now firmly accepted your offer. That email can be converted into a PDF and that can be the acceptance letter. So it's the offer letter, the acceptance letter, and the visa support letter are the 3 letters that need to be submitted to the visa office.
And offer letter is separate, different to the unconditional offer.
No, that is the offer letter.
Okay, great.
That is the offer letter. It's just our terminology is really, really different. So I can understand how it's difficult. So it's the offer letter, whether that's unconditional or conditional, the letter of acceptance, and my visa support letter. Then other documentation that would come from the University of Limerick is the UL tuition fee receipt. Other than that documentation, which is documentation that is provided from the University of Limerick, it is the student's responsibility, it'll be your niece's responsibility to ensure that she provides all the supporting documentation for everything else.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, could you please explain the letter of acceptance? Unconditional letter is the offer letter.
Yes.
And letter of acceptance.
So once a student has been offered, in that offer letter, they are asked to pay an acceptance deposit of €1,000.
Yes, okay, I get that. Okay.
So once that €1,000 is paid, our admissions team will send a letter of acceptance. It's an email and that you can convert into a letter of acceptance.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Rena. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to quickly, this session today was supposed to be an hour. We're nearly at 2 hours. I don't have any other hands raised, and I think I've gone through the Q&As to the best of my ability because there was a lot of questions there that I addressed throughout the session. So yeah, so what we're going to do, I'm going to finish up. Thank you all for attending today. I really appreciate your patience. As I mentioned, my colleague Jennifer on Monday is going to send a recording of this session, and she will also send a copy of the presentations that I referred to throughout the session. So we will have another visa information session coming up, if I'm not mistaken. If you just bear with me 1 second. Just a second now. We have another webinar coming up on Wednesday, the 15th of July. So my colleague Jennifer will be sending the link out for that particular session in the coming days. So again, if any of you have any questions, visa or immigration related, please come to that session. That session is going to be a little bit different in terms of format today. Today was mostly questions and answers. This session on the 15th, again, I will be going through the visa presentation and allocating some time at the end of the session for questions and answers. If we do think we need to have another Saturday session between now and when you arrive, I'm happy to do that. Please let me know. So everyone, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you found the session informative and useful, and that you have taken away information that you were not aware of prior to the session. So thank you all for your patience, and I will see you all again maybe at the session on the 15th, and I look forward to seeing you all in August and in September. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye. Take care.